Well, we made a box joint real quick. Can we make a dovetail real quick? And the answer is yes, using the exact same principle. So, R for rectangle, and let's draw our line, or our side piece here. And that was 0.75, comma 20, enter. P for push-pull. Let's pull this up, just referencing off of this, 6 inches tall. And before I make this a component, I'm actually going to do a little bit of drawing on it. So T for tape measure, and I'm going to drop a guideline that is 0.5 inches away. And I'm going to drop another guideline that is 1 inch away. I'm actually going to draw my pins and remove them on my tail piece, if that makes sense. Let's draw a guideline back into the piece for the depth of our dovetails, and that is the same width, the same distance as our thickness, which is 0.75 inches. Enter. So if I was to just use my protractor here and make another guideline from here and say we're making 15-degree dovetails. I've never made a dovetail in my life, so I don't know what the standard is, if there is a standard, but we're using 15 degrees here. I'm going to do the same thing from this side, going up. And alpha line, I'm just going to draw my little cutout here. Now I can delete all of my guidelines. I really don't need any of them. And I'm going to use a window to only select my dovetail. M for move, control brings up copy. That is 1 inch because it is 1 inch cut, and I want a 1 inch spacing, so let's drop another one 2 inches away. Enter. And just to copy that again, let's press X2, enter. So if I'm not mistaken, let's D for dimension here real quick, or T for tape measure. Let's verify that, yep, that is ½ inch. So I have a ½ inch here and a ½ inch here. P for push pull, and let's just push these out. Double click to repeat my push pull. And this is my tail piece, right? So spacebar, triple click, G for component, enter. I'm going to drop a little bit of color on here just to contrast again. So drop some red on there. And I'm also going to draw my next piece in place. So R for rectangle, and let's go up here. And you notice I don't know my width here. I could specify to my dimensions, or I could just simply put my mouse over here until that endpoint pops up, and it'll snap to that endpoint. So my width is exactly where it needs to be. P from push pull, and let's push it this way 12 inches. Enter. Now, just like the box joint, this is model space. It is not a component. This is a component. So let's right click the component, intersecting faces with model, with the model space. Now if I move this out of the way, you can see that it transferred all my dimensions, all my geometry to the actual workpiece. So let's make sure we're messing with model space. P for push pull, and let's push this face all the way in. Let's double click to repeat, double click to repeat, double click to repeat, space bar, triple click to select all of my model space, G for component, enter. So now I've got a nice little dovetail joint. And we want to copy our geometry just the same way we did in the box joint over to this side. T for tape measure. Let's set a guideline right where we want our geometry to stop. Double click to edit our part. P for push pull, and let's make some room for our dovetails. Space bar, double click to select, or triple click to select everything. M for move. Control brings up copy. Set one side by side. Right click, flip it along the red, that's the direction in which we drug it. And let's grab one of our pins and put it up against this line. Now we can use a window to select only these lines and delete them. Select only these lines with a window and delete them. Click outside, and now we have our pins over here. Let's delete that. Let's grab our side. M for move, control brings up copy, and let's grab one over here and drop it off over there. How do we make the back? Well, we can grab this, M for move, control brings up copy, and let's go from front all the way to the back. Now, this is a dovetail joint on the back side, so we need to flip along the green direction in which we drug it so that our pins are facing the correct way. So right click, flip it along the green. And now we need to transfer this measurement over to this piece. Well, this is no longer model space. I can get it back to model space by just right clicking and explode. So now this is a component. This is model space. So if I right click my component, intersecting faces with the model, now all my stuff is transferred to here, and I can P for push pull and just push out the area, creating my tails, or double click right there. Spacebar, triple click G to make this a component again. Now I really didn't need to copy this when I did, but I actually did, so let's just go ahead and delete this first one. Select this because it has the tails on both sides. M for move, control brings up copy from here to there. So now I've got a four-sided box with dovetail joints all the way around. Exact same process with the box joints, except a different shape. Just for grins here, what about a half-blind dovetail joint? Sure, we can make those too. So let's go ahead and delete that piece, and R for rectangle from here, again referencing off of here. P for push pull, and let's go all the way to this back edge, and this time let's create some additional thickness up here. So 0.25, quarter inch extra. So the same exact process really quick. I can right click here and say intersecting faces with the model. This is model space. And now I can P for push pull and push out my space to create my pins. Double click to repeat, double click to repeat, double click to repeat. Same thing on this side really quick. I can right click and say intersecting faces with the model. P for push pull, and let's push this in back to here, double click, and double click. So spacebar, triple click, G for component, enter. And if I was to just right click and say hide, you can see that I have a very easy and quick half blind dovetail.